Okay. I am gonna have to fix that. La la. Let's see what's okay. We have la la. Let's see if we can. Can I fix this? Greetings, Kem. Lawful. Welcome, welcome. Let's see if there is a way. I'm trying to fix the background image. It's not making a difference much. Need to make it bigger. Problem is we can't move it. Alright. Just have to go work with it and see how it goes. What is this? Oh, it's a share option. Got this. Okay. All right. Just gonna have to work with it for now. We can figure out the rest later. get started shortly. Get started shortly. See if we can bring up. Welcome, welcome, one and all. We are about to get started. Alright, let's see. Alright, we're gonna have to go back to our reduced screen. Okay. All right, let us get started. It is that time of day again. It's that time of the week. Welcome everyone. It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026, right? And I tell you, we have been fooled. We have been fooled as a nation, as a people. Our ancestors were fooled, some of them. And we, the generation that inherited what our forefathers had to bear and go through, we still in a place of distress. Justin, lawful, greeting. Jamaican Bear, thank you for sharing the live. Welcome, welcome. You know, we continue to suffer because not only are we ignorant of the one thing that makes a difference in our lives, but also because the idea of slavery keeps us apart. What does that mean? The idea of slavery keeps us apart. When we had the divide between the people who were captured and the people who were free, there was a kind of bad mind going on, where the people them who were under captured control, they expected the people who were free in the bushes or free in the mountains and in the other areas, in the territories outside of the captive area, they expected those people to come and free them. So you see, when time people get impatient, you see when time people start look on things like them must sit down there eat breadfruit and banana and them something in the bush. And them not have to work. But we have to in a captive situation at work day in, day out, and I get abused and beaten and all them something, right? So of course you're gonna have some people just bad mind, just have a negative energy towards those who they think are doing better than them. And sometimes you can look at the situation and say, boy, I can't blame them, because if you live a certain kind of life and somebody else live a certain kind of life and you feel like you struggle and you look on the other individual, them and I say, yo, what them life them is supposed to live. Some people are going to catch bad mind. It is no different from today, where you have some people, then look on what other people have and them I think say, yo, them people are lucky, you know. Them people can work, they can get money, they can live in a nice place, they can go out if them want, them can go drink and do all of them something. You know, all of this is what brought about the negative part of, I guess you can say, the negative part of people believing that others have it easy. Enough people out there will look upon somebody's situation and say, them a drive one car so them have it easy. Them have one work so them have it easy. Them have a wife or a husband or a pitney or whatever. Someone from the outside is looking at your life and thinking that you have it easy. Sometimes I the one little comfort you have, and them don't know what kind of stress you under, but them a bad mind you because them feel like say your life is better than theirs. Especially people who have too much free time on their hands. Then we see people that drive a car or whatever, right? People will look at people who live overseas and I say, them better off. I hear so many stories from people where them say, people who live foreign, them can come on vacation and them can this and them can that. Sometimes you just have to laugh because people are assuming that others are better than them, when in reality, the people who think they are suffering are living a better life than someone who they think is in luxury. Let me say that again. People who think they are suffering in many cases are living better than those who they think is living in a luxury. You see, people who have a little money, oftentimes them not have nothing. What I mean by that? By the time them don't pay bills, by the time them eat little food, by the time them cover them expenses, them not have nothing left. Holistic, greetings, lawful, welcome. But the little bit of free time that people see people come and have like a vacation, they are thinking, wow, then take a little bit out of them day or them time and then come spend some time at Jamaica. And yeah man, them a live the life. Them a live the life. But then they are not taking into account that them people don't own a home. They might not have no children. If they do, they might go through them own misery. Them have them own challenges. You see, people in Jamaica can actually, in many cases, live without money. In many cases, you can live without money. You can farm, you can raise little animal, you can do some little things. You think you can go to our next country and do that? People don't realize these things. So when bad mind kick in, people don't realize that it is a transient and fleeting thought. It is not even something where you can hold on to if you say, yes, it's true. Because if you look on a lot of people's life, them not really have much. The same way you don't have much, or the same way them not have much. It's just that you see the little freedom what them have, and you think say it is the world. But anyways, the topic for today is, what is Jamaica? Signatories, I don't know what we are talking about already. But what is Jamaica? And when we hear say Jamaica has independence, what does that mean? It is said that Jamaica is a country. Right? Jamaica is a country. So if Jamaica is a country, what is a country? Is the country the land? Is the country the name? Is the country the people? Or is the country just intellectual property? What is a country? Because Jamaica gained independence. Are you Jamaica? Am I Jamaica? What or who is Jamaica? Unknown King, lawful, greetings, welcome. Hi Chief, grand evening, welcome. Rise up, rise up. What is Jamaica, and what does it mean when we hear say Jamaica has gained independence? We have to learn these things before we start running around talking about we want justice, we want freedom, we want this and that and whatever. These are fundamental things. 360 Michael, lawful, greetings, welcome. If we don't know the very basic of what we are talking about when we say Jamaica, we literally have to sit back down and gain that foundation before we can move forward. Because when we say Jamaica in a legal and a lawful context, we have to realize that I am not Jamaica, you are not Jamaica, and nobody will walk around on the ground and not Jamaica. The term, oh John, you're back, welcome. The term Jamaica has nothing to do with you, and Jamaica has nothing to do with me. If you think otherwise, with evidence, present it. I am, like I always say, I am open to learning. And let me just put my disclaimer out there from now. I am not a lawyer, I am not an attorney, I am not providing legal advice. Anything I say is my own opinions. If you learn something, good for you. I don't offer consultations and I don't offer for hire services. Right? So, I don't think I will have any disagreement when I say the people are not Jamaica. Yuri, lawful, greetings, welcome. Go and hold a seat, Yuri. Make a reason for a second. See? I don't think there is anyone who can disagree with me lawfully when I say I am not Jamaica, you are not Jamaica, your neighbor, people are foreign. Nobody don't make up Jamaica. So, what is Jamaica? And if it was Jamaica who gained independence, right? Sobek, lawful, greetings. If it was Jamaica that gained independence, what did the people gain? The question again is, if we don't know what Jamaica is, and Jamaica gained independence, what did the people gain in 1962? Let us take a look, because what we say, lawful always, right? So let us get over to the computer. If we can only take off the effect, there we go. So, for those always wondering, how do we get to these documents? How do we find them? How do we access them? There are several ways, but I will show you an easy way. You go to voiceofjamaica.com. Okay? Voiceofjamaica.com. And in the menu, you have an option here called Research. You click on it. You scroll down a little bit, and here we have laws, statutes, acts, etc. And under there, we have the Jamaica Independence Act of 1962. Ajawa TV says, I was applying to agency, and during the process I was asked to pledge allegiance to the Queen. Absolutely. All of the oaths that are taken are either to the Queen or to Jamaica. It is not to the people. So here we have the Jamaica Independence Act 1962. Right? And the second page, we've been through this before, but we have to bring it into full circle context now. The second page, see, it's page 2. It says, an act to make provision for and in connection with the attainment by what? The attainment by Jamaica of fully responsible status within the Commonwealth. So, it was Jamaica that attained fully responsible status within the Commonwealth. That is what independence meant. It says the 19th of July, 1962. Right? Now, many people don't even look at this. Before I started speaking about the Jamaica Independence Act, and even now, you don't hear anyone talking about it or have any other views about it. The document is only 10 pages long. Only 10 pages. And it goes into everything else. It talks about how Her Majesty's government shall have no responsibility for the government of Jamaica. Right? So now they are basically allowing Jamaica to have its own parliament and pass its own laws. But again, it does not tell us what Jamaica is. Jamaica is. Jamaica doesn't have a meaning. If you go look it up, Jamaica does not have an actual meaning. So it is just a word that was made up. And then it was purported to be given as a name to the island, right? So Jamaica in and of itself is fictitious. It is just a name. It is a trademark. It is a copyright. It is property of the Queen, Her Most Excellent Majesty. That is her property. How do we know this? You notice what it says? The attainment by Jamaica of fully responsible status. But it doesn't stop there. It says within the Commonwealth. So what is the Commonwealth? Let us take a look. Let's go to Google. And let's type in Commonwealth or British Commonwealth. Right? Now, we're not going to use Wikipedia as a source. We're going to find other sources like commonwealth.org, or let's go to UK Parliament. Let us go to commonwealth.org and also open UK Parliament. So we see the difference. So here is commonwealth.org. And it not only gives us the basic details of what the British Commonwealth is, it also tells us the countries that are in the Commonwealth. Right? So here are the Caribbean and America's countries that are in the Commonwealth. And I'm sure you can see the well-known flag there. We have the UK, also in the Commonwealth, right? And, you know, many other countries, right? So we have Canada. So when we have legal discussions and you hear them say, you know, they're taking decisions or authorities from other Commonwealth nations. You can pull from any one of these Commonwealth nations because they are all pretty much using the same British historical structure. Right? So these are all the member countries of the Commonwealth. You notice United States is not in there because they have their own, I guess you can call it, similar Commonwealth system. Anyways, who we are, about us. Right? Let's go to about us. And our history. Our history. So here you go. Let's see what it says. The Commonwealth is one of the world's oldest political associations of state. So you remember when I said Jamaica only gained political independence? Here is the British Empire telling you exactly what that actually means to be a part of the Commonwealth. Right? The Commonwealth is one of the world's oldest political association of states. Its roots go back to the British Empire, when countries around the world were ruled by Britain. The early Commonwealth, over time, different countries of the British Empire gained different levels of freedom from Britain. Semi-independent countries were called dominions. Leaders of the dominions attended conferences with Britain from 1887. In 1926, Imperial Conference was attended by the leaders of Australia, Canada, India, Irish Free State, Newfoundland, New Zealand, and South Africa. In 1926 conference, at the 1926 conference, Britain and the Dominions agreed that they were all equal members of a community within the British Empire. Imagine that. So when I tell you people, or we people, when we have discussions that Jamaica is still under colonial rule, I am not just making opinions. You can find it for yourself. In these documents, in these public declarations, in these specific locations where they tell you in the public, this is not secret information. You can go to commonwealth.org, history, and you can find it for yourself. They all owed allegiance to the British Queen or King, British King or Queen. But the United Kingdom did not rule over them This community was called the British Commonwealth of Nations, or just the Commonwealth. So, the Jamaica Independence Act of 1962, when it says fully responsible status within the Commonwealth, the only difference is that Britain was not directly ruling the island. They allowed agents of the state, agents of Britain, to continue running the different countries. So, a Commonwealth, fully responsible status within the Commonwealth still means that what? You are still under the British umbrella. If you claim you are in Jamaica, you are under the British umbrella. Right? So, let us take a look at what UK Parliament has to say. Contemporary context, Commonwealth of Nations. The modern Commonwealth of Nations is a voluntary union of 53 independent sovereign states, all but two of them, Mozambique and Rwanda, claiming some past connection with the British Empire. It is an international union of nations working together to promote a number of common values and goals, such as democracy, human rights, good governance, and the rule of law. Mr. Man says, so as I suggest, Independence Day is a misnomer and means jack shit. Well, sounds about right. Beginnings. It originated with 1931 Statute of Westminster, and its original members were the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Newfoundland, which joined the Canada Federation in 1949, and the Irish Free State, which left the Commonwealth in 1949. India, Pakistan, and Ceylon, later Sri Lanka, joined the British Commonwealth, as it was then called, when they became independent in 1947. So, and they go on and on and on. British influence. Since the London Declaration, the Commonwealth has grown throughout the decolonization of the British Empire. And between 1957 and 1970, over 20 former Crown colonies joined the organizations as they gained their independence. So people, here they are saying these nations gained their independence, but now they are a part of the Commonwealth. How does that make any sense? The British ruled you before, and now you are going back under the British rule, or under the British umbrella, saying that you're independent. Does that make sense to anybody? You were ruled as a colony, brutally ruled, right? Under this authority, or claimed authority. And you are saying you're independent and you are still a part of something that the colonial masters create? How does that even make any kind of sense? Because even if you are claiming to be independent, independent would mean that you are independent of something. You can do what you want now. You don't need the authority of that authority anymore. But yet still, you now you're coming back under the British umbrella, where you were just under before. Dan God say a long time mad cow disease out there. So, back to our question. What is Jamaica? If Jamaica is not something that we can call our own, then how can we claim independence of anything? Because like we showed 2 days ago, right? Let us go back and go to the Jamaica Constitution 1962, right? If we go back here, right, we can clearly see that this is a British document. It is not a constitution. Beth says them still under the British always, and them never come out as well, and them love it as well. Who love it? Who exactly love it? So when we look at this order in council, right? This order in council, again, has at the very last pages, it has the oaths, right? And none of these oaths pledge allegiance to the people of Jamaica. None. Right. When we look at the Constabulary Force Act, Section 4, we see again that the constables take an oath to the sovereign lady, the Queen. And now that the Queen is gone, the King takes over. Right? So it was never a case that independence was for any people. So the police is serving the Queen. When we go to the Constitution here and we look at the Oath of Allegiance, it is, let me zoom in so you can see. It's a true allegiance to Jamaica. Are you Jamaica? Am I Jamaica? No, we are not Jamaica. So what are you pledging allegiance to? What is Jamaica? So when we look at these things, we have to realize that the only problem we are facing today is that we have never declared our independence. That is where we're at today. We have not declared our independence. So what? This is why we had to build a constitution and we had to create our own name. It start click now? It start make sense, people? Drop a 1 in the chat if it makes sense. If we are a people and we say we are going to join together and we are going to build a nation that is for us, we are going to use our voice and we are going to build a nation where benefit us as a people. We cannot use someone else's property. The name Jamaica is owned by the British Crown. So we cannot say we are going to use that and continue using that and not expect that we are going to face difficulties using someone else's property. It is just like anything else in society. If you borrow somebody things, they have a right to claim anything you gain from it. So that's why we have to come up with our own. We have to make our own constitution. We have to make our own declaration of independence. And if you notice, It is called the Constitutional Union of Jamaica, right? Because we are not creating a simple name. We are creating a union of the people, and we are calling that union Jamaica, right? So, this is why we have to declare ourselves free. We have to let the world know, say we're free. We have never done that. Who wrote the Jamaica Constitution? Anybody know? Who made the Jamaica Constitution law? Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? The Jamaica Independence Act of 1962. All of these things are British constructs. Exactly. A lot of people think that just because you are born on the island that you inherit everything that comes with it. That's not true. Another thing, we always hear about reparations. The reason we cannot claim any kind of reparations is because we have not declared ourselves separate from the British Crown. How are we going to be a part of the same system that said that was the law at the time, and then claim now that that was wrong? And then on top of that, a claim again say we want back everything that was taken when we are a part of that same system. It cannot work. That's why they have not entertained the idea. Because who are they going to give back to? You're still claiming that you are a subject of Great Britain. If you are a subject, then you are not entitled to anything. A subject is a slave. So the first so-called independent move we would have to make is declare our independence. Now, to be clear, that does not mean that we don't have a reparations claim that can be made. But first, we must have some independent political character. If we don't put together a nation, if we don't put together our own government, if we don't put together our own internationally recognized body, we can't claim anything. We still have British courts. We still have British parliaments. We still have British laws. We still have British acts. We still have British everything. Everything that we're complaining about, the source of it is colonial foundation. All of it. I'm not ask. So this is why we need to, if we actually want to make a difference, we have to come together and we have to make our Declaration of Independence possible. Roy, Lawful, greetings, welcome. Now, again, a lot of people are asking, well, how are we going to do this? How is this going to be possible? What is the implementation plan? When can we act? When can we go out on the road and education first? Education first. Okay? We can't run, go do anything. This is not a race for the swift. We must first know what we're doing first before we go out there and say we're doing it. Okay? And again, turn on the camera for that one here. Because I have to make sure I put this on every single video now that we have completed our constitutional draft. This movement here is not a movement attempting to overthrow the government. This movement here is not an attempt to combat or nor oppose the government. This movement here is not attempting to incite any kind of violence. This is all peaceful, and we are not having any secret meeting of any sort. All right? So the replay of all of these videos are on YouTube. All of the constitutional draft videos are on YouTube. So we create a record. And many of the things that we talk about here, sometimes they copy it. Sometimes they come out on TV, they come out on JIS, they come out on YouTube, and they start talking about the same things that we have been discussing here. But many of the things that we discuss, they can't talk about it. So they try to get little ideas here and there, and then they try to bring it back to the people as if it is theirs. And if you follow my page, you would have seen that there are some of the agents out there who take some of the ideas and try to make it theirs, but then I replay them and show you that those ideas were never original. A thief then thief it. Imagine, little channel over here, so I educate, and it ends up in Parliament, or it ends up on TVJ, or it ends up in town hall meeting. How comes? All this time, we had 64 years to have come up with all of these ideas. Why are you coming over here stealing ideas? Anyways, we're not going to bank on that. So, I hope now you have an idea what Jamaica is. We are not Jamaicans. So you see one time the Prime Minister did come out and give you a hint that it say, just because you're born on the island, that doesn't mean you're Jamaican. People were getting angry. People were out there ready for cause riot because the Prime Minister say what? You're not necessarily Jamaican. And it is really and truly a mockery to show that ignorance will take us deeper and deeper into darkness. It is because you don't know, so you will defend what you think is yours. Right? If you put one dog in one yard, the dog will defend that yard even though it was not born there. If you feed that dog and put a perimeter fence around your yard, that dog will defend the yard. And that is how people are. They will defend anything they think is their property or their space. So, sometimes we have to be careful and investigate what we think we know. So, that being said, we the people, we have to raise awareness of these things that are going on around us. We cannot sit idly by while our birthright, our labor, our equity, the land that we live on, slowly get eroded away. It is not necessarily going anywhere now. But in order for us to make what we are expecting to be a change, we must be educated. We must first be educated on the fundamentals of what would make us what we would call a nation. We are not a nation. Currently, we are not a nation. We are free. We are free to do whatever we want. But because we don't know exactly what is going on, that is what is beating us. We can be experts at describing all the problems we have, right? We can sit down and say, yo, a violation that. That right there, sir? That not right. Why them a beat the man there? Why them a give so much ticket? Why them a thief way? Why them a tax on everything? Why them a lock way up? Why them a, we are expert pans looking at all of the problem them. But we are not expert pan finding out why it is happening. And again, the reason why is because we're still under colonial rule. Let me show you another example of why. Yeah, Howard, greetings, welcome. Well, we are going to go even further than that. But like I said, education first. If you're just joining, you kind of missed the first part. Right? So, make we look on another reason why. TikTok police, lawful, greetings. Another reason why, me say, we're under colonial rule. Who create the government? How the government come about? Is it any different from colonial times until now? Is it any different? Is colonial times different from now as we talk about governance and government? Glenn, lawful, evening, welcome. Greetings, Glenn.
Where press back on this? Where press on this? Me press like an man call me name.
Four.
Is it good? So I'm gonna press it again.
Yeah, you're up. Alright. Look like a fat finger. So, in colonial times, you pretty much just had a governor. Right? And the governor would have pretty much oversee one wagwan and get instructions from Britain, and Parliament would have put certain things in place, then present it back to Britain and get things written back and all them something there. Now when you have independence, you stop have the back and forth with Britain. Them thing they cut out. Now, them can do certain things on the island, them still not have full authority, you know. But now them can do things on the island where them not typically have the power they do. Right? So them give them a little bit more power if you say, alright, you can control this, you can do that, you can do that. But if certain changes are made, you have to make bigger heads know. See it? So now what them do is them say, alright, we have to make it like say the people them have some kind of input pan wagwan. Because if them keep on things say them not have no say, then them are gonna have a problem. Upsetter, lawful, greetings. Culturally, lawful, greetings. So what them do now, them say, alright, we are going to declare independence, right? And then we are going to say, alright, the people them can pick them leader now. So that's when you have things like them here go on, right? Where you think say you have black power. So now you wanna realize say you know really get a choice, you know. What you get is an ultimatum. Either you pick this you wanna over here so or this you wanna over here so, but it's only where we tell you say you can pick from. That's where you pick from. Tell me if I'm wrong. When the time comes for you pick one so-called leading party or a leader, where the leader they come from, if you stand up and say, yeah, me a one candidate, and me if you lead, and me if you control things, and me if you call the shots. Where him come from? He come from your community? He come from anywhere where you know? He come from your school? He come. Where do we get the people them who show up for say, yeah man, we if you lead the country, or we if you put everything in place and make sure say things run right. We if you do the business of the nation. Where they come from? I guarantee you, most of us don't know these people. Them not got school with we. Them not their own way. Them not got work with we. Them not in our community. And even if for some reason, them get planted in a certain places and them take them time gain people trust. Most of we don't know them. And when they get in a power with them though, it don't matter which one you choose. There was never a government that listened to the people. Never. Ever. Alright, Sydney, you're up. Never a government that actually listen to the people. Them always do what them feel like though. When them reach in a so-called office. Sydney, lawful greetings.
Good evening, good evening.
Evening.
I mean topic because me come on and I just random.
No. We are talking about Jamaica's independence and the effect of the government since independence. We're not talking about anything political per se. And we're talking about the constitution as well.
Oh. Well, this is my government, which is the PMP, everybody know that. And me the last part where I said they listen to the people and them not listen and that. You're very wrong there, so.
Really?
Because, yeah. Alright. You know the only hospital was built after independence is the PMP building.
There is no such thing as PMP building anything.
No, we are talking about the regime, man. No bother with the semantics, man. You know what we are dealing with, man. At the government party we are talking, man. You know, nobody have semantics, man. We are talking as big man, you know. We don't know that. And at the government of the People's National Party.
Okay.
At two party we have, two main party.
Okay.
Right? Good. Right? You know that most of where we are going, where we are live off of, you know, our in the where we are live off and the structure we are going the under the People's National Party. And when the JLP come in, them add on. Me not say add on is not then continue. I'm not beating continuation no, because I love that. You have to continue. But if you remember when Andrew Holness come in, him say, he might grab the button like Usain Bolt and run with it. Plenty people never really understand when him says so. What people start realize, and me realize fully after that. Say, so what I mean is continuation, which is good. But when you continue, you have to put in some things. Because, all right, look, even a COVID, they will big up themselves about COVID and say, boy, if I went PMP, they will COVID again, how will I manage? And lo and behold, all of the things them were drugs for the elderly, the drugs for the people, them, the money that was PMP saving pan. That was set in by PJ Patterson.
Listen.
And the only thing, one second, the only thing what JLP, what Andrew put in, was the time when you have to come off a street and when you have to lock down and when you have to this and when you have to that. Nothing else. If a man can't tell me one different thing, one what PMP when put them thing there and him use it up, well, me say, boy, me never know about that.
But when that's what I said from the beginning, when I talk about politics over here, where one do and where one no do.
Impossible if you not talk about it, my brother.
No, it is not.
No country can
no, you have to go listen then, so you can hear what we're talking about.
Even in Cuba, even in a communist country, you have party. You know what.
All right. So we now go try get into the semantics of what so-called political leaders do when they are in power. Because first and foremost, they are not necessarily leaders. Because again, they are taking an oath to Jamaica. They are not taking an oath to the people. So they don't have any allegiance to the people. They don't have any kind of, what you say, independent thinking or any obligation to listen when nobody say. Even if we all come together and say, government, we are asked if to do this, we are asked if to do that. They don't have an obligation to do that because they did not take an oath to serve us. Hi, Chief.
Yeah, man,
Lawful, greetings.
greetings, go on.
Yeah, man.
And this goes to prove, this just goes to show you where the brainwashing happen and how deep it is. Because I preach the same thing on my channel. We're not talking about green or orange, because at the end of the day, green or orange serve the same master.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
So because green and orange serve the same master, it's the two sides of the same coin.
Right.
And that is what we people them need to open them eyes and them minds too. It's not about a party, it's about the fact that Britain give a order and claim fake independence just to create a system to give the people choice, because what they do, they come up with what, listen, it's a masterpiece, you know. This plan that they come up with, you know, we can't deny that, you know, to keep the people separated, because if the people realize that they have true power inside of their sovereignty and reclaim them status and them position as free man and free woman, then the whole ball game can change. But you said earlier, it starts with education, knowledge.
Right.
So when this Virginia come talk about what PMP do, that's irrelevant.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that's irrelevant. That don't make no sense. So it's all about edifying the people them to the real knowledge. Listen, you're not free. Listen, you're a subject to Britain. You're a slave. That is why them can abuse you. The system can do whatever. And you could have plead blood and high water. Them not going to do nothing for benefit the people. Because they first sign an oath to the corporation. The oath is not to the people. The oath is to the corporation. And the corporation is called Jamaica.
Exactly.
You understand? So,
exactly.
What I say, true JLP, me and none of them, because none of them now pay my bills. You get what I say?
Yeah, because him want to talk about politics and what each of them do. That not have nothing to do with this. Because whether one or two in a power, it is the tax dollars that we put in the system that is building that. So none of them really are do nothing for we.
And we are do for them.
Exactly. And we are make them get paid. We are make them get for invest. We are make them do all of them something there. So what exactly are they doing that is extraordinary than what a regular employee wouldn't do?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Absolutely. All them are, I mean, sometimes we have international things with them to go make deal and all them something there, but we never know about none of that. Because again, it is not our business.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know if you ever go through the Strawman on your channel where it tells you that, all right, so in the Strawman, it explains in detail that the duty of all of the employees of the corporation, and the employees of the corporation are the politicians, everybody will sit down in a Senate, the police officers, the JDF, all these people are employed by the corporation, and their sole duty is to bring in profits.
Right.
Where them get the profit from? Off of me and your hard-earned dollar.
Right. It's
so the people them need to open their mind and shift out of this green and orange mentality, because it not help nobody.
Well,
the only people are being helped are the people who are sitting in these positions.
Right.
Them alone I get help. Yes, them have to do little something towards certain communities feet not look so bad.
Right.
But look at the big picture. What are they doing? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Well, them sit down in a parliament and them make a good show and put on an act. Right?
Alright, let me say this. I have said this on many occasions. I have worked among these people in certain capacity, which I'm not at liberty to share. And I can tell you, none of them don't hate them one another. The whole of them are friends. And if you believe, say, PMP this or JLP that, and they make a sad mistake, the whole of them are friends.
Right.
And they all sit and laugh at you, the people, because of how foolish you are. I'm not talking something that I don't know. I'm telling you what I've been, rooms that I've been in, conversations that I've been a part of. These people sit and laugh at you, running down green and orange. They don't care. That's why I can take the position that I take. Because I know, I not talk because I guess I spell.
Right.
I've been in rooms. I've been there. I know.
Exactly.
So until the people them start to learn the real truth, the first what I normally ask on my page is how many people know the Jamaican Constitution? Read the first few words. It's said by order of Her Majesty. It's an order from the Queen.
Right.
Oh, you independent, but the Queen give you order. Come on, man. People wanna wake up, man.
Well, you see, on top of that, we don't really tell people to wake up because
My apology. Wake mean dead. Rise up.
right. And the fact that we have these things in plain sight and people don't know. I mean, people literally don't even know how to get to the Road Traffic Act.
Nothing is hidden, my lord.
Right. So, unfortunately, we have to kind of narrow the pathway so that people can focus on what is most important and not even expose certain other things because they're gonna get confused real quick because of the volume of information.
The volume, you're right about that. You're so right.
Yeah, so this is why the focus here is to show the foundation of why we are doing what we are about to do, so that when the time comes, people know exactly why we have the power to do this.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I will yield and give somebody else a chance to jump in.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, man. Enough respect.
Cool. Zabia, we're not doomed, Eagle King, you're up next. No, man, we're not doomed. We just need a little guidance.
Yeah,
Eagle King.
man, as I respect me. I'm not come for long still. I just want to share my experience, a short thing based upon for the conversation we're currently having. But me remember back in the 90s when we were young, right? When we were young. Remember when if government come with certain things, the people in the quick for block the road, put tire in the road, light it and all of them somebody. Right? So is that a case that whenever they capable, it's just that how the system change your state of mind, because at the end of the day, within that time period, the news they make it look like say, if the government come with something and you don't like it and you go block the road, there's something wrong. You know,
Right.
support for that protest and all of them things, they let it go as so the news that they make it look like, and the reason why I know because me the ones they feel away there. Every little thing the news come up and say people, and you say, yo, why them a block the road, man? They need to cut out them something there, but you don't realize say I fight the people, them a fight for them, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So all of that change based up off of the media, because of the news them use, and then through the generation it take time they don't tell who they hush who they right now. Right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's not a case that we are not capable, but it's just that how them programming of look on certain things, and then lack of knowledge, we just look on certain things and we don't know how to approach it or what to do or stand up for your own right. The next thing, government come like a football. Me and you can we love football. You have a side, me have a side. The two side them a play. Within the match, we cuss ourselves and say, boy, I idiot thing that and and tell you say, yo, your side I idiot and me run away and me cuss and all them thing there. But you say soon after the match done, and me sit down a chat.
Right.
That is government. That is government. Enough people not understand that. You see, if you get a full understanding of certain things, you have to move your point of view You know what I mean? So you have to look upon things from a different angle. And if you look upon it upon an angle, there is no way you can think say, all right then, one party is better than one. Cause as the brother they say, the two of them have one bars.
Exactly.
I see them as them have. You know what I mean? And the moment you look upon that and understand that, you realize say you are differentiate say your PNP and Labour right one better than one. You realize say well yeah say that don't make no sense. Cause
Exactly.
two of them are the same thing. The two of them are the same thing. But
Right.
I just that me the one add to the thing, you know?
Yeah, man. Manners and respect same way. Big up. All right. So, with that being said, like we said earlier, when we have a system that is set up that we, the people, are giving away our power by going to vote, and then after we vote, we have no say whatsoever. We can't interfere, we can't demand, we can't do anything mandatory. Nothing. So it doesn't matter what is happening in society. We, in the current colonial system, we don't have no say. We can do petitions, we can file claims in court, the same colonial courts. We can do all we think we want to do. But at the end of the day, they can still say no. They can still ignore us. And they have no consequences because as a matter of law, as a matter of what they call law, they are not required to respond. They are not required to do anything that we say. Even if we are dead, even if we are dropped like fly, them no have no responsibility to us because it is not written in law. And that is why we had to write our own constitution. Because if we, the people, are to take responsibility for our own country and our own actions, none of this can go on. The only reason we don't see anybody coming out and saying anything is because of history. We already see what happens when you march. We already see what happens when you try to bring things to the court. We already see what happens when you block a road. We already see what happens when you write letter. We already see what happens when you go to town hall meeting. We already see when you go up on TV. We already see when you make report to Indicom. What happens? Nothing. If little bit happen, them say, yes, we have had this success and this is working and this is how the system is working and this and that, but yet still, it is less than 1% success for the people. Right? So, this is why we have to comprehend that we don't currently have a system that benefits the people. Let me give you another example. A lot of people, you've joined this channel because of the traffic truths and some of the remedies that I have presented on this channel. Let's talk a little bit about traffic. You get something called a traffic ticket. Then say, me say, we need to stop, ask for justice and take it to ourselves. We don't want the violence over here, Dean. What we're doing don't require violence. We don't advocate for any of that because, again, the government has a monopoly on force. We are not trying to combat the government over here. And we're not going to incite any of that. Greetings, Damien. Lawful. So, Ricardo the Billionaire. Lawful. Greetings. So, look at a traffic ticket, right? You get something called a traffic ticket. And at the top of it, it says what? Jamaica Constabulary Force. Did you know that is not in law? That the word traffic ticket is not written in the law. What is written in the Road Traffic Act is fixed penalty notice or summons. And none of those words appear on your traffic ticket. You don't see fixed penalty notice, you don't see the word summons, and you don't see the word notice. All you see is traffic ticket. Now, when you even look at the descriptions coming down, we start talking about the vehicle descriptions. If you notice, the descriptions don't match your vehicle. They are shortened, abbreviated names, abbreviated titles, abbreviated this, abbreviated that. When you have all this space on the ticket, we then could have write out everything, But it is abbreviated. You don't know what it means. You don't know what none of it means. But because I guess that can make out and that it mean. So you in your little brain, your smart brain, you say, I must so it mean. So I can't contend with that. Imagine if somebody shorten your name. Let's say your name George. And somebody write your name GRGE. Are your name that? You ever use the alias there yet? You see it not make sense? So why would you accept the fact that somebody's calling your Toyota car Toy or TOYA? Why would you accept somebody renaming the name of your car? That is not how you purchase it. That is not what the title says. That is not what nothing says. But yet still it shows up on a ticket to say, you use this car to do this XYZ thing. And you just accept it. You know, but cause no fuss over that. It is because you don't have the confidence, you don't have the knowledge, you don't feel that any of that is going to be something that you can contend with. But if you had the knowledge, if you had the confidence to say, here Wagwan, this is not my car. Here is my title. These details that are listed here, that does not match my title. So this is not my car. That was described here. So this ticket is defective. You're not contend that. You never think about that. You're not gonna bother with that. So now, this system are gonna use that to them advantage. Look at it. If you decide that, all right, I go the easy route. I go just pay the ticket. You see how fast you can pay the ticket? You can go online, same day, pay the ticket, boom, you're over it. Challenge it and see what happens. All 9 months to challenge a ticket or more. Is that a system for the people? Is that something that is beneficial to anyone? For someone who may have gone through a process like that, would you have any courage or any encouragement to continue down a path like that? You see what I say? It no make no sense. It only benefits the system because what? Then can just say, all right, send you one next date. You are come back and forth in a car, in a taxi, in a this, in a that. You have to buy lunch, you have miss work, back and forth. Who it a benefit? It surely not benefit you. Then say, well, if we think talking going to give us real justice, might as well go on the wicked man's side. So you can't go on, nobody now hold your foot. Nobody now stop you, You can scroll, you can go on, you can do whatever. But if you don't have the patience to learn what it is that we are doing and how it can be effective, then nobody now hold you. Nobody now hold you. When the time comes for action, we are going to take action. We're not in a rush. If you get up and you run, go take action. Imagine this. You go take force and force come back after you. What you gonna do? You see, some of these things that we think are so simple. Oh, everybody come together and rush them. Everybody come together and do this and that and whatever. No, you have hundreds of thousands of people dead off for what? And then on top of that, you might not even have any plans beyond that. You don't have any structure set up. You don't have any kind of laws or rules set up. You don't have a constitution. You don't have no way of learning how to put back political importance back into the nation and all them something there. How that gonna work after you take action and people lose them life and all of this bloodshed and all that? How it gonna work after that? How do you even dissolve the system and rebuild it? You think that's how it work? Anyways, we not depend that. Me not depend that. So if that is what people are looking for, some people, hey, go right ahead. But I know better than that. Ricardo, Lawful, greetings, welcome.
Greetings. So, me do want you, if you could have a time to just explain the crab in the barrel mentality, because I realize that we might think that we know what it is, but when it's explained to us in the lowest term that a 5-year-old can understand, maybe one and two are elder or young ones can understand what a crab in a barrel mentality is.
Okay. So when we talk about mute your mic for a second.
No problem.
A crab in the barrel mentality as it relates to society, it is something where we don't want to see anyone above us. We want to climb up and we want to get out of whatever situation we're in. We're not business who the bottom, we're not business who the side away. We just keep on a climb. And everybody have the ability to climb. So everybody a climb one time. Nobody no want help up each other. Nobody no want use them intellect in a certain way so that the whole of we can benefit. Everybody does a move at the same time. Move. Like say something run it down. So when we have something like that happen, the effect is obviously cancelling itself out. Meaning, you have somebody go up, then guess what? As you rise up, somebody will climb on top of you too. So everybody remains at the bottom. The other downfall of something like that is that, let's say somebody make it out of the box or out of the barrel. Now you are at a place where you are alone. Do we want to be at a place where we don't have any support? We don't have nobody we can relate to. We have nobody we can form a community with. We have nobody that is at the level of maturity where we're at. How different would it be from where we are at now? So the crab in the barrel mentality is really something to keep us at the ground level, giving the illusion that when you climb up, if you get out, you're going to have this glorious thing. You're going to have these glorious benefits. You're going to be above everybody else. But guess what? It is a trap. You ever see white people do foolishness? I am sure you see videos right here on TikTok where you see white people do all kind of foolishness. Them go try go in a wild animal habitat in the wild. Them try mess with alligator. Then try jumping in the middle of the ocean with shark there. Them climb up on some high mountain. Some of them drop off. Some of them go like them places like Niagara Falls. If you ever hear some of these stories where people just do some things and you in your mind now I say, If me have the money for go to them place there, I just enjoy myself. I have unlimited joy. But what you now realize is that the boredom you're going to receive after you have reached that stimulating factor of the mind. The boredom that is there at the top where you think you're aim for, where nobody is up there, and the people who up there, them all by themselves, because them don't know nobody, them don't know each other, them don't have nothing in common. So imagine you now, you have all of the things that you want, and you don't have no more goals in your life. You know what happens? It will come like somebody when they have nothing and they have nothing to do. Them feel like them are go mad. Them want to go out and just go do something. But if you can purchase anything or you can go have any experience, within 1 to 2 years, that's all it takes. 1 to 2 years, you are going to max out your stimulus in the mind because you're going to do everything all at once. You're not going to space things out and be productive. Because you don't need to. If you don't need to work, many people are going to think of it as, well, me not going to work. Me work too much. My working day is done. But within that 1 to 2 years where you experience everything where you want to experience, the boredom in the mind, and that get whole heap of people mad. They start with foolishness. They start find dangerous things to do. They start squander them money. They start do everything possible to get a little bit of excitement out of life because they don't have anything to work towards anymore. And that is the illusion with the crab in the barrel mentality. You think you see somebody at the top. That's where you want to go. But then when you get there, you have no other plans. So you get stuck in perfection. Now to some people, them are going to say, that are some people that not happen to me. You think I alone think that? You think I alone assess so? You think a little people win the lotto and they end up with nothing in just less than 5 years? Go look it up, go on YouTube and see lottery winners. What, where are they now? Most people who win the lotto, if they don't have a business background or someone like a lawyer to guide them, them lose the whole of them money in less than 5 years. It no matter how much you win, and lose back the whole of the money in a 5 years. Right? Sometimes it's the worst thing that happened to them. Exactly. Some of them can't even realize, just because you see all these zeros behind the account, that don't mean so you have a lot. Because every single year, when you use up all that money, what do you think is going to happen if you're not reinvest and start do certain things? Be productive and stop. Eat and spend, eat and spend, eat and spend. So anyways, that is the crab in the barrel mentality. We're not trying to get there. We need to be a nation that is productive. A nation that learns how to keep building, keep getting better, keep learning, passing on knowledge, building our infrastructure, learning how to mesh ourselves with nature. Learn, there's just so much room for growth. The gentleman we come up earlier talked about politics. He mentioned something about the hospital system. Imagine we have had hospitals in Jamaica for a long time, right? Why has it never been a priority to modernize one hospital per year in each parish? Why has that never been a goal? Sometimes we hear about roads. Sometimes we hear, oh, we'll get some bed for the hospital. We'll get this. Then you hear them come up with something else. Oh, we're going to work on agriculture. We're going to work on this. There has never been a national goal to complete one single project as it relates to the people. You see how them focus and build the highway? And what they do with it? Then charge we a fee. Then keep on charging us a fee. That highway was supposed to only charge us a fee up to a certain amount of years. Then what happened? What happened after that? They not only did not erase the highway fee, they increased it. You see?
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because sorry to cut you, but you know, we tried to do something there in St. Thomas, in the parish of St. Thomas for the hospital, and try modernize it and even get proper equipments from here in America to come down there, and they give us such big problem. They put such a big bill on it till you feel like, okay, what do you really want to do? Do you want to save the people of Jamaica? Do you want to help the people in the community, or you just want them just die and brand new people, kids born again, but at the same time they have no proper care,
Right.
no proper care. And the same thing that's going on over and over. Our elders, they're giving us information that's been passed down to them about all these things that don't make no sense at all, and most of the time they can't even read. And because the lack of knowledge, somebody just passed on a lie to them, and they might try pass down the lie to us. So, you know, may I come off again? I urge that young and old, that we open up our mind, not say that we take everything, right, to the T, but research. Research and find out to see if this is really true. And once
Right.
you realize it, once you realize the truth, let go of the lie. Let go of the lie. It's gonna feel uncomfortable. But you have to let go of the lie to make change come. You have to. Truth hurts,
Well,
but it hurts for the good.
that is
It hurts because you hold on to the lie. That's why it hurts.
well, that is easier said than done, you know. You see, some people, them livelihood depend on the lie, you know. So sometimes me not gonna say me blame people for hold on the lie, because sometimes it is the lie that is keeping them alive. But the only thing I will say is that if you know better, you do better. Right? If you know better, you do better. But the point here today is Jamaica is not the people. Jamaica never been about the people. Jamaica was always a government structure. Let me say that again. Jamaica, the name Jamaica. Yeah, man, Ricardo. Thanks for coming up. Jamaica itself is a political structure. It is not the people. So when we say we are Jamaicans, when you hear people say, oh, the corporation and, you know, your birth certificate and this and that, that is what they are really referring to, but they might not know how to vocalize it properly. Jamaica is a corporation that trades on the US Stock Exchange under the Securities and Exchange Commission. You can go and look it up. You can type in Jamaica Government SEC filing and you can see it for yourself that they are trading as Government of Jamaica. And independence was granted to Jamaica within the Commonwealth. It was never independence for the people nor by the people, right? So that is the first thing we need to internalize and stop this foolishness about independence. Hi, Chief.
Yeah, man. You know, say the virgin never just come on a while ago. He said something, and it just brought me back to a panel that I was on a couple of days ago with some brothers from the US. And I was explaining, you know, they were talking about money and wealth and, you know, how to grow wealth and, you know, things like that. And one of the things I was saying to the virgin them is that there are certain truths that I had to accept, and it was extremely painful. Truths about myself, truths about what I was taught growing up, and truths about the belief system that I held for so many years. And a major part of that is the school and the brainwashing structure that they use. So some people are so caught up inside of a system, and I don't know if you teach your viewers them the true definition of school, which is a place of School is a place of instruction. They instruct you on how to behave, who to listen to, what to do, where to
Indoctrination.
go.
Right.
Right. And it's the same thing. We're not just indoctrinated by the school system. We're also indoctrinated by actions. And you made reference to the ticketing system that they have. And because we have the common action of just going ahead and paying the ticket, we don't question how the ticket is structured and that the information on the ticket is actually false, as what you say.
Right.
So it ties back right into our brains have been programmed to believe the system functions a certain way, and we are trained to accept that this is how it is. The common talk on the ground is a so the thing set.
Right.
Yes, it was set by design. Yeah? And the corporation is designed not to help me, you, none of our children or our grandchildren to come. It is only designed to make money for the corporation.
Exactly.
Yeah? And if we can accept that, as what the Virgin say, it's a hard truth. It's a harsh truth.
Mm-hmm.
But let go the lie, as what the Virgin say. When you learn the truth, don't fight it. Let go
Right.
the lie. Accept the truth for what it is. It hurt. It hurt for no so them trick our parents and make our parents sign way over to the system by the bird paper. It hurt for no say for years they have been collecting our hard-earned money and we have not benefited from it. It hurts. I can't all of we feel it. If you ever work or start a business or do any kind of entrepreneurship or any kind of juggling, street talk, or any, you know say it at. So we could accept it hurt from now
Exactly.
and then deal with the resolution later. Lawful, enough respect.
Yeah, man. Big up. Thanks for that. So, when we talk about accepting certain truths in a society, especially the fact that we've been lied to, we have been hoodwinked, we have been taken advantage of, and we still don't know what's going on. Many of us don't know what's going on. We're learning slowly. We're gaining back the knowledge slowly. Right now, we kind of have to be like a gazelle. Right? You see, we're in a stage now where things are moving rapid. A lot of changes are happening in a short period of time. When we look at where we are at as a people, it is no different from in 1962. No different. We still had these robbery going on. We still had a fight for land. We still had police abuse. We still had nowhere to turn as an alternative. If we have grievances, the same system that is abusing us, we have nowhere to turn. And how can we say that we are independent and we have a government and we have a system of law and a system of governance when we ourselves don't have any power whatsoever? We don't have a say. We don't have any way of actually communicating with the creature of law that we created. And it is very simple. The very constitution that authorizes the use of a two-party system. To activate that system, it requires a colonial agent, which is the Governor General. The Governor General is not voted in. The Governor General is not selected. The Governor General comes from where? Where does he get his authority? The British Crown. It is infused in the Constitution. It is also in the Constabulary Force Act. Where does the Constabulary Force Act come from? It comes from before the Constitution come about. So, nothing that is in the system right now, we never create it, and we can't expect any benefit from it. Some people don't believe. They say we need rules whether it works for us or not. And that is another indoctrination. You know, we had an individual when we were talking about traffic matters. And Michael, I'll soon bring you up. We're talking about traffic matters, and the individual said, if we remove police from the road, we would have anarchy. If we remove the highway limits, we would have crazy accidents. We would not be able to control society and keep people safe. And I said, are you sure about that? Him say, yes, what you are saying is ridiculous, and you can't say remove the speed limits or increase the speed limit because you're going to have a lot of accidents. So I say, so what about the Autobahn in Europe, where they remove the speed limit and you can go as fast as you want? There is actually a minimum high speed that you can go on the Autobahn. And you actually have less accidents on that highway than on the regular roads and the regular highways. What do you have to say about that? And the individual went silent. So a lot of people, they get indoctrinated and they don't validate what they think they know. And when someone comes along and actually sheds light on some of these situations, they go quiet. Right? So there is no such thing as we need to have laws in place or else there is chaos. All right, look like Michael gone. All right. There is no such thing as if we don't have laws in place, the place is in chaos. Because we have always lived with societal rules. Let us give an example of what we're talking about. You see, oh, nowadays they might say, oh, you have so much robber and thief and all and something. The only reason most people drive to the speed they can manage the vehicle. Exactly. Nobody's going to drive a car to kill off themselves or to get injured. But anyways, right now, the police is taking on the job of finding and, as they see fit, take out and eliminate who they consider to be gunmen or dangerous to society. I'm not saying nothing about that. But let us picture this for a second. Let's say the police wasn't there, or the police had no legal authority to be hunting down other individuals, right? What do we think would happen? Do we think the gunmen would take over? What do you think? Let me hear in the comments. What do you think would happen if the police were not hunting these gunmen? You think, say, and let's say we didn't have the laws that say, well, you know, if you unalive somebody, you would go to jail or you would face criminal penalties. Let's say we had our own communities and people are doing them something. You think say them would have get away? You think say people could have run around and do what them feel like without consequences? Austin, greetings, welcome. All right, Austin already. First of all, people don't realize how serious jungle justice is, you know. Back in the day, we used to have something called community watch. Most communities had community watch. So you see, if somebody come in a community was strange or something are going on in a community, you think say you come out of that just so. Especially in this day and age where you have all kind of other technologies to detect and see and watch and record and all that something. You think say people would have just run in a place and I get things go crazy and no consequence to them? Anyways, if we had a system where people had defensive weapons in their homes lawfully, without hurdle. The only, of course, the only requirement would have to be you have to be of the mental state to be able to keep your weapon in a safe place and not use it, in some, I guess you can say, crazy way, right? Someone who is mentally stable, right? You get that evaluation done. You're a normal individual. You can purchase your weapon. You keep it in your home in a safe place. You think anybody are running by anybody like that? You really think so? You would see how quickly we stop have crime and violence. You would see how quickly people would stop doing foolishness. But when you have an unarmed nation, it's almost like you have a country of sheeps. If you have a country of sheeps and you have wolves that come with machine gun, what the sheep them are gonna do? Them are gonna cower in one corner. But give all the sheep them one handgun. Whether you want to have machine gun or not, you cannot overpower the sheep. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I am not undermining the work of the police. The police is there to do a duty and they are there to keep the stability within society. But at the same time, it is only because the citizens are unarmed. We're not going to go too far into that. The point here is independence was an illusion. We the people never got independence. It was Jamaica the corporation that got independence to be a part of the British Commonwealth. That is all that happened in 1962. The constitution that we claim we have was an order, and it specifically says so on the face of the document. When you open it up, it literally says Jamaica in brackets, Order in Council 1962. So that's something we have to look far for. This is why we have to create our own name, our own nation, and this is why we have to put together our own constitution. Right? So let us take off the background. This is why we have to declare our own independence as a people. Now, people, I haven't said this in the past couple of weeks. You see, for those of you who don't realize it, many of our family entered into things that cause our downfall, what cause us to struggle. You need to release your family from these bonds, these contracts, these blood oaths. So if you want to have an advantage, if you want to release the chains and bonds and allow your ancestors to be able to help you, you go to voiceofjamaica.com. And in the menu, you have something called My Voice. You click on My Voice and you have the instructions here on how you can remove the contracts and the bonds and the blood oaths and all of these different things that are holding your bloodline back. It's up to you if you want to do that. If you want to keep all of the contracts and the baggages that come with your bloodline, so be it. That's your choice. But at least you can't say you never had the chance to make your life better, to release your ancestors so that when the time comes and we need to move as one, the ancestors them can be by our side. Remember, even in the Bible, what does it say? You're not fighting with flesh and blood. You're fighting principalities. You know what that means? Things in the spirit, things where you can't see. We are wrestle with them in your sleep. Your ancestors, them are wrestle with them. All kind of things happening that we can't see. And our ancestors, our bloodline, our family tree is where the war is taking place. It is not in front of your eyes. The website is voiceofjamaica.com. One word, voiceofjamaica.com/myvoice. That is where the instructions are. You simply follow the instructions and you're good to go. The people who get it done, it means that you remove the baggage, you remove the negative intent, the shackles and chains. Let me give you an example. If you know anything about history or you heard anything about history, the most famous ones are the Egyptians, right? You hear about the Egyptians and they won't connect it to anything mythical, typically. You know, so the Egyptian, them used to get buried with them gold and them possession and them something in a tomb, right? Do you know why? Because they were the same ones who figured out what is happening after death. It is where you get the Book of the Dead from. I guess what is written, I can't say for sure. What is written is that this. When you pass on to the next life, your status at your passing, and when you get buried and put back in the earth, whatever status you have, that is what you go to the grave with. So imagine you have nothing. Imagine you were in chains when you pass. Imagine you were in some kind of detriment when you pass. Imagine if you were in some kind of bondage or some kind of confinement or some kind of difficulty. That is what you start with on the other side. And the only thing that can take you out of it is the breath of life and the command of the voice. So that means that once you pass and you realize what going on, you're stuck. Your whole bloodline stuck because them not have no voice. So only the living can do anything to help them. I hope that is making sense to some people. It is only the living bloodline that can do anything to free them from any kind of bondage or chain with them inner. No, you're not coming back as a king. I said when you pass, when you get to the other side, whatever power or influence you have, that is what you continue with. So this is why people get buried with their belongings, their treasure. The other thing, another reason why it was made in law that when someone is buried on property, that property is condemned. It cannot be sold. It cannot be transferred in law. It is because that family has the duty to protect those people who have passed. You have the duty to protect that body and that ground that that individual get buried on. So it does not get disturbed. You see, I am not sure if you ever hear the news or see the stories of people digging up dead people belongings to steal what they had on them. Exactly, that's why it's called ancestral lands. You have people who will go in cemetery and dig up people's graves and steal their valuables from them. That also has spiritual consequences. Okay? So this is why you would be beneficial. It would be beneficial to you if you do something like this. So that in case there is anything holding your bloodline down, your family tree, your lineage, your ancestors, those that came before you, if there is anything holding them down, you have the power to remove those bondages from them, those chains, those contracts, those oaths, those things that are keeping them confined. Now, Why would we want to do that? Some people are going to say, well, no, them get themselves in a problem. While that may be true, did you know that the power you have in this generation comes from your ancestors? So if you don't have no power, that means that your ancestors them chain up. Your ancestors them weak. Your ancestors them not have no power to help you. We're not talking about comeback. We're not talking about them things right now. We are talking about what is on the other side. We have more than enough knowledge to confirm that the people, look at it, a lot of these influential people that you hear about, do you ever hear about them, their family members being buried in a cemetery or being buried? All of these influential people, you ever hear of them burying their people in a cemetery or any place where whole heap of people bury? No. They have their own private space where they remain undisturbed. So, those are some of the benefits that you can expect with something like this. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you imagine that the ancestors them on the other side, them ready and waiting to join us whenever we decide to move? And you decide, say, boy, I don't know about this. Even though I'm me alone, this can affect, and I can't see no negative in this. If I really my family member them and my ancestors them, and may I remove the bandage from them, really and truly, them would have really try turn around and try to harm whatever we are doing in our life, yeah? That make no sense? That would be like you are connected to a tree and you are cut off one of the branch and you feel the pain too. That is literally what that is like. So imagine, just like how you would have the rebellion them are going in the ancient time, and the whole of them meet up in a bush and come together and say, yo, we are going to do this thing here. We are going to get this done. Imagine them ready if we move with we. So we are moving at the physical, so they are moving at the spiritual. But because we not take the time and make the changes and allow them to be able to help us, them can't move with we. All right, Maki, you're up. Yeah. Evening, Maki.
Evening, sir.
How are you going?
I mean, I listen up your thing them, but first I come on live, First I call
Zane?
on live or whatever. Why me I tell you say that open up my knowledge cause all the little things I may really I think about. I say how this goes so how that me really I realize now how it goes so. Man, good thing you do, man. Put a good work.
Zane.
Because me did a plan to be head of one of the revolution, but now we fight me with them, man.
Yeah, well, listen, everybody have to be at the front of the line.
Yes, man. Yes, man. All right, let's say that. All right, let's say that.
Yeah, we can't wait till we can't do nothing before we are try to do something.
But to be frank, I'm going to tell you why this thing reached so far, I now go the route that we're not supposed to go, but I'm going to just say one thing. Reason
Yeah.
why this thing reached so far, too lazy,
I'm fair. I'm fair too.
Too lazy, man. Trust me. I say some people want to spend, but they don't want to work. So that's how I reach this. So,
Right.
you know, right now, I'm tired of peer pain. Me, I feel I'm tired of me. I still got to work on morning.
Exactly.
And we have beg some people for work and they don't want to work. Then they ball and say, oh, government not provide job for nobody. Go learn trade, you get work.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to create your own work.
But brother, that me do, you know, we go learn how to hold a construction, you know, and then we go out and get general level 2.
Yeah.
So I do my own thing. I don't work in no contract. I take the job by my own and get to my bridging. I know I like work and more than 1 hour. I eat a food.
Right.
But I'm all 40 man me up on site. I do casting. So any man can do it. See, because I grew up on my own. I on my own for me 13 plus.
Yeah, we have to.
So I don't see why the man can just, you know, make we do that thing and let go that pop thing there and let go that thing there. Because them something why if the security system set that way, yeah, because them a try control it that way there which, you know, till
Well,
it gone over
sometimes
on
that is the
employer.
case. Sometimes that is the case, and sometimes we not get to know because them just a take out everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, my brother, even. So we have, in this case now, we have to stand up for one another. Listen to the man who call. You know why is we, you know, because if you know area thing, this in a construction, you know why is me? You why is me in that area? So me have to listen to you and learn. A lot of people me come on your show and them now listening just a chat on something, even text what they said, brother, they are police, we have make some talk. That's them I make them talk there.
Yeah.
Yeah. A man have to listen and learn and then say, all right, pick sense out of nonsense. Make it
Right.
make sense. You know? 'Cause there's a lot of laws when you see come hand out. You can't fathom. Nobody can fathom your headache.
It not benefit none of way out here.
No. No. And the next thing again, me ask one very important question. If we know say everybody in Jamaica can have a house to live in, or if we know how much money in a brother saying at the kitty there,
Yeah.
every day me think about that. If someone ever know how much money in that account there, we just roll over and dead to see how we are suffer. Yo. Yo.
Yeah.
Jamaican people pay the highest tax. I can tell you that. The highest tax that Jamaican people pay it. Money there.
Big time.
Money there. And when me I say money there, I know say money there because I know what I sell out here. And we now everything them come and say we have like 15%. Where 85% gone. Private sector then say have it. One next man from overseas. Then sell out this. Then sell out. Which a lie. They have 40%.
Yeah, cause why you not show the books then?
Alright. 40% is the lowest they can have. And it costs through machinery too. Because if we did have machine and the next man step in and promote on something, couldn't that 40% them couldn't get.
Right.
Jamaica can more than buy some machine to do something. We need to talk about some things, you know? Yeah. Jamaica can
Yeah.
more than buy some machine to do something, but instead them pocket it because even them great grandparents were not born yet, them have a bank account for them.
Exactly.
So alright, that's how the thing I go. When yo, me like what you do, my brother. Trust me, cause me I listen to some them traffic law thing and etc. Me I say no man, how that will happen? Sooner or later we don't have nobody in Jamaica drive.
Right.
So it don't make no sense. It wouldn't make no sense me even when I go look for my license. I repeat my learners 3 times and just have it on waiver 3 times. I repeat my learners and I say, it don't make sense look for no license because me can't bother with some so I could see my police go and I can't take you know, me mad. Mad man. Me put in front of the vehicle man. Mad. I me tell them all the while, you know. While me breaking them and say, shot man. Oh, yes, I see. Me say what I say. Me tell any policeman that man, don't see me a drive and do the wrong thing. Me hook you up. Me tell them because they say there. You have to see serious. So when you not do it, you have to tell them yes, but we do it. The man professional still. Yeah, me say alright. Me not taxi one day and a police virgin tap a taxi and the part. You see, give me a license. Give me a license, drive. And my bit. Me have to inter. Me say driver. Me say officer. When you say ignorant, you stop the man. You need even say you stop him. Explain why you stop him. You just give you a license. You say you unprofessional man. Behave yourself, man. Behave yourself, man. Not because then they on the road and you feel like they're afraid for you. We not afraid for you, because we at them carry we are defend them. Deal with the man or if you deal with man. I don't say deal with people. Alright, so that's a truth. No, me say no top car no yard come a road, man.
Right.
So man, me just lick it straight. Top car your yard come a road. Your yard problem don't care come a road. Alright, now police are get good pay, them should not behave so.
Yeah, well, sometimes them things say everybody hate the police, so them
Yes.
have this hatred attitude towards a lot of people and
Thank
call
you.
for.
Thank you. And the point, and next point again, make me realize that them train to deal with you how you answer them. Because if you answer them in a one local way, yes, certain one of them were in the rank for a good while now and them know the things them. If you answer them certain way, them feel like say, yeah, after one year,
Yeah.
So, me know in them something there, brother. Me know in them something there. Right now, I want to buy a vehicle and I drive back. And I say, me I go to prison, Me go and take taxi. Go to job. Go and take taxi.
Jaja.
Because, me not say right, but me used to drive bus, without license, from downtown to Manchester,
Boy, the only thing we can say is try stay on the straight and narrow.
No, me not drive again, man. From 2007, me stop that. Me not back on a steering wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And anybody will know me and tell you, I tell you, I'm a first class driver. Me also I drive before me even reach the age of consent when bigger Ford used to come put table in a Maypen Clarendon
Okay.
and place name Asburn store right up on him National Water Irrigation. Bigger Ford used to come put the pitch table and tent down there some man and top vehicle and then time me I drive vehicle. I can't public passenger.
Okay.
But cause me have nothing to do, and me want to go thief. And me do some boom and me find a way now and me left that I'm going to do sales work and then me do so left that I'm going to learn trade. I'm going to stop learn trade. Right now, we got over 15 trades in the construction and still I learn. Then we got
Okay.
art. We got
That is
art.
it.
Yeah. So, them boy and they have to do something, brother. You have to take chances, but not take chances in corruption.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
have to stay up on the positive, man. One way or the other.
Yeah, man. Positive and survival, man. Because me and a brethren talk all this man, I say Bible tell us say 50 survive. I say yeah, but I know the way you don't believe. It's not about it's some bad down place and something. Is while the system are try to force on a thing for you, you capitalize on what the system are force on and learn something above it. So you will have work, you have a money in your pocket no matter small. So you becomes fit. Fitness
Exactly.
is not just the war for go there. So, Mr. Prime Minister, go this, go that, go yes, that, go this. No, you know them something there.
Exactly.
We get 5 youth and me have to live to make them see me, you see.
Zane?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing the update and the liberty,
Yeah, man, me listen to you. I think about, I go 2 weeks now. You get the link and every night. Yeah, man. Every evening me dep on it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Tune in and stay tuned, when the time comes when we start move
man.
towards coming together as one.
Yeah, man, that's what we have to do, man.
Yeah, man. Just keep a link, Zane.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, my bro.
Yeah, man. Big up. Thanks.
Blessings.
Yes, peeps. Now, as we're saying, voiceofjamaica.com, and you click my voice in the menu, right? So it's my voiceofjamaica.com/my voice. See it right there, so you get to the instructions, and it's up to you. This only pertains to the individual, your bloodline, your family tree, your lineage. So you have the instructions if you choose to use them. Nobody not force you. But, like we said before, the ancestors them, we should know that when people pass, them not gone. Ancestors them still did it. Them a wait for a chance if you can help and build up and hold up and give strength to them bloodline. A lot of we don't have courage. A lot of we don't have that stamina. A lot of we don't have that support. You think a little people me hear say, me don't want to have nothing to do with no family, them too wicked, them too this, them too that. You know, say, some of our families, the ancestors them pan that family tree, them get weak out because of the things them what them used to do. And that's why some of the living family them so wicked. Them not have no heart. Them not considerate. Them bad mind. A lot of the knowledge not get passed down from family generation to family generation. So people come about and them start the foolishness. Them start look for quick way to get things done. Them start go to people to help them get things done. When them know say it not right. So that is what caused the confinement and caused people to end up in a poverty. Cause people to end up in a situation where they can't come out of. Even when time them get money, them get advantage, them still can't come out of it. You can't get no opportunity to go nowhere. Because your bloodline tie up, your family tree wrap up, the limb them are dead. So this is what something like this would do. It would allow you to restore your family tree. Restore your lineage, restore your ancestors. So you get the backing and the support on the spiritual side. Alright? So, just to recap. Now we know that we never got independence as a people. We never need it. We were already free. So, the independence where people are celebrate every August. Independence Day. Yeah, celebrate independence. Foolishness. What you celebrate is the independence of the corporation of the British Crown. It is their property. Jamaica is the name created by them. That spelling is property of the British Crown. So you are just celebrating them putting it in place so that it can continue the British rule. That is what you're really celebrating. You're not celebrating no independence of no people. Because the Independence Act don't mention nothing about no people. It was about political independence, as we have seen here today. See? So now that we know that it wasn't pertaining to us, the government of Jamaica, all of the oaths that they take in office are either to Jamaica, the corporation, or to the crown, the British crown, or the queen. Especially the police. They take an oath to the queen. See? So, Kimar, lawful greetings. You can always be independent of the work, you know. But the problem is you will not reap any fruits. See? But we will get into that another day. That is all we can go into tonight. We will continue again later on this week. Big up on yourself. Lawful, always.